This former digger in Peshawar also provides warranty to the owner. How did he do it before the repair? The owner is a VIP customer in the repair shop. After carefully checking the damage, Uncle Jing said that the problem is not serious and it only needs 2,000 rupees to repair it. This time the repair needs to be done by grafting. After measuring the size of the broken position with a tape measure, the shaft head can be fixed to the lathe. Because the diameter of the shaft head is relatively thick, it is necessary to use a scraper to measure and compare when using a 4-claw chuck to fix it. There will be no problem with the concentricity. After Uncle Jing adjusted the concentricity, the processing process of the shaft head fracture position is relatively simple. For the subsequent repair by grafting, the master only needs to cut the end face and reserve a positive step in the center of the end face. In this way, when installing this yuangang later, it can ensure that there will be no problem with the concentricity. At this time, he only needs to make a detailed measurement and comparison first. Use the drawing ruler to mark the metal. The glasses uncle did not use the lathe to cut, but used the chair notch to make a detailed cut on the marked part. The skilled glasses uncle then used the cutting silicone to assist. At this time, the center position of the metal was quickly processed. Because the size after cutting with the chair notch is not standard, the master wants to process the inner mirror to the standard to facilitate subsequent splicing. The experienced glasses uncle, after cutting, in order to improve the firmness of the splicing of the steel and the shaft head is a very exciting match. At this time, the glasses uncle only needs to use the hydraulic press to install it in place. After processing the metal, he only needs to process the uneven end surface flat and then cut the outer mirror of the metal. In order to improve the firmness between the metal and the other end of the shaft head, the glasses uncle will cut the thread on the outer mirror through skilled operation and then use the lathe. You can use a steel spoon to draw the mark on it. After punching the positioning hole through the sample, the master can then use a bench drill to drill holes and then use a tap to punch holes. The hole for the glasses uncle is at the joint of the two. After the master installs the bolts, the joint can be fixed with bolts. The operation of the glasses uncle is really that as long as the mind does not slip, there are always more ways than difficulties. When dealing with the other side of the broken shaft head, since this shaft head is a special shaped part, the glasses uncle can only install an auxiliary fixing bracket at the tail first so that it can be conveniently fixed with the lathe chuck. For the processing method here, the glasses uncle only needs to compare the size of the other side and then use the inner hole cutter to perform detailed processing. After the inner seam is processed to the appropriate size through skilled cutting, the threads for splicing need to be cut here. This process is then done by his head shaking operation. It is very quickly processed. Next, he only needs to splice the shaft head processed on the other side. Because this side does not need to be welded by electric welding, the glasses uncle first uses a marker to mark it, then use the sample punch to punch out the positioning holes, and then use the drilling machine to process these 4 holes. Then the master can use the tap to make standard threads inside the holes, and then use bolts to fix the joints. After watching the whole process of the uncle with glasses using a certain fixing method to repair the cracked excavator shaft head, what do you think of the uncle with glasses' repair method? If there is a 10-point score, how many points are you willing to give?